Hello out there, everyone, all you Saint Lunatics. Welcome to the very first episode of That STL Pod. I'd like to coin the term of a subtitle, Men Who Are Often Wrong, because that's pretty much where we are. We have some hot takes and we're often wrong. But That STL Pod, I am Clay. I am That STL Guy on many platforms online. You might have seen me on TikTok, Instagram. This is a podcast where the only thing we're going to do is watch the Tavon Austin highlights mixtape on repeat. So you guys ready for that? No, we're not going to do that. We are, I just wanted to start this podcast as an extension to my online platform about all things St. Louis. We're going to talk, some sports, some news, what's going on in there. We're going to be like rooted in St. Louis, but I'm sure, we're going to get off topic. We're going to talk about a lot of things. These guys are really fun. So I'm going to introduce them one by one. First, my good buddy, always the Matt Stone to my Trey Parker for my creative projects. That is Ethan. He is also known as the Ed Sheeran of the Midwest. That's what we have been coining him for several years, me and people that hang out with him, because he kind of looks like a poor man's Ed Sheeran. Say hi to the camera, Ed.
Hey, what's up?
We also have our idea guy, Nick. Want to say hi to the camera?
Howdy, folks.
Yes. And last but not least,
Good to be here.
we have our first guest, but I hopefully he sticks around for some more episodes in the future, Charlie Manger. I wanted to talk about some things in his book. He is an author, which is pretty freaking sweet. He just put out a book, The Spirit of Missouri, and it's a great book so far. I'm actually not finished reading it, but he gave me a signed copy, so I appreciate that, Charlie.
Anytime, Clayton.
First thing I wanted to get into that you really hammered pretty early on in the book is that I don't know why nobody talks about this. The Cardinals are pretty much the original Moneyball. Like Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill. The Cardinals were the original Moneyball. I mean, they were the poorest team in the league early on. They had the first female owner in sports history or something, or MLB history, which is insane, before women could even vote. But we just could not win any games. And that one owner of the team who stepped in, what was his name?
So
it was Branch Rickey.
Branch Rickey was the man. He was the Messiah, the one who was in charge of turning every last bit of fortune around for the Cardinals. I think a lot of people don't often, or this often gets overlooked, but the history of the St. Louis Cardinals. No, they're not a team from LA, New York, Boston, Chicago, Frisco, wherever, but they have one of the most unique histories in the history of baseball. So nothing happens of them. They're the poorest team. They get the first ever female owner, Helene Britton. She inherited the team from her uncle, who was baseball mad. So from 1911 to 1918, she was the owner, and she, in a way, was able to promote the game to her demographic and getting them to come to the games, getting them invested in the sport, so to speak. No, they did not win because they still were missing that missing piece, which was more resourcefulness to deal with the slim pickings that you got, and that's when Branch.
I mean, I'm looking here. It looked like it was pretty rough though. Like when she was the owner, and it sounded like people were kind of bashing her for being a woman owner, and it's so much so it almost seemed like when I was reading it, she was like almost bullied into selling the team, kind of. Is that fair to say?
I think yes and no. Yeah, I'm going to lean more on the subject of no, but a small part, I'm sure, yes, she was probably bullied in a few ways and pressured in a few ways. I do not believe that she was ever threatened in any way, but at least kind of persuade. She tried to be persuaded by the MLB owners to quit.
Yeah.
But in reality, her financial situation really got bad, and this was also at a time when the Cardinals, they still didn't have much money, and they didn't have their own ballpark. They were playing in the same baseball park as the Browns, and they were the more popular St. Louis team at the time.
Right.
So the Cardinals, they still didn't have much of anything.
Yeah.
And
were the Browns poor too? Did the Browns relay that as dirt poor as the Cardinals?
That probably
seems like they were pretty popular for a while, like over the Cardinals before that, like first World Series between the two.
I think a little bit too with the way that the American League rated National League rosters in the early part of the 20th century kind of led the way to that. I think the Browns did have a little bit more money than the Cardinals. Now they
Yeah.
weren't contenders at that time either, but I think they still had a little bit more, but it was still not enough to like buy these star players. And she didn't have somebody. And what I find to be a shame is that she was not able to see Branch Rickey come.
Yeah.
Like if she had waited a year or 2 or maybe 3 years to try to sell the team, but then she saw what Branch Rickey was doing, she might have been there a lot
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. And I was,
Charlie, if
it,
I can interject you for just
yeah.
one moment. So how did she inherit the team? This was before beer had anything to do with the ownership. Is that correct?
Yeah. No Anheuser-Busch
Yes,
yet.
yeah. So Bearden took over. He purchased them from Helene Britain. So Chris von der Eye was the gentleman's name,
Mm.
and he was the owner of the Cardinals, late 1800s into the first 10 years or so of the 1900s, and
How
then
do you
he
pronounce
ended
that
up
name?
passing away.
Vonder A.
Von der
I
Eye,
know it's a weird name.
VON space
It's like
DER space
aha.
AHE. Uh-huh.
AHA. It's
Yes.
like aha. That's how
AHA.
I pronounced it. I did like my cemetery video, the St. Louis cemetery video on TikTok, and I showed his like he's got this crazy statue of a grave in it's either Calvary or Bell Fountain Cemetery in North St. Louis, and it's just like him in like a nice sports coat with like a cane or something. But I said this is
Classic.
Vonder Aha. Yeah, it's
Yep,
probably a
yep.
mispronunciation on my
We can
part.
just call him Bonder Aha, but yeah, it's
Vonder
Bonder
Aha.
either. Yeah, let's just call him Bonder Aha for now,
Vonder Aha.
'cause he had a
Take
good
on me.
aha moment.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, like, in terms of the Cardinals being the OG Moneyball, like, there needs to be a movie about this. Like, we'll bring Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill back. I mean, just to read some things some statistics that I took from your book. I mean, they had to do the things that gave them a statistical edge when they had no money. They were the only teams that didn't have money. They couldn't buy all these hitters, and that's what everyone was focusing on, the hitting. And the Cardinals invented, or Branch Rickey of the Cardinals invented the farm system, and that's what gave them that edge. They had 7 minor league teams, 800 players under contract, 32 teams underneath them total. They could just grab the youth upcoming to stay competitive. Like they had signed so many people under contract. I guess the big names couldn't buy them. They literally belonged to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and the way that you mentioned that too to start, I think is spot on because what an idea crossed my mind when you had mentioned that about making a movie out of like what Branch Rickey did because Branch Rickey because this is Hollywood in itself.
Yeah,
The Browns, we know about them, and they were a more popular team than the Cardinals. And where was Branch Rickey before he was with the Cardinals? He was with the Browns.
yeah.
In
Oh, I did.
1919, Sam Braden basically raided the Browns, and um, he pilfered Branch Rickey from them with a promise to double his salary with some of the money that Helene gave him, and also made him general manager. So they got him from the Browns, and then he just builds this empire from the
Yeah,
ground up.
I don't know who would play him in a movie nowadays, but I also
Um,
saw in your book that there was a movie about the Cardinals and Ronald Reagan was an actor in this
Yeah, that was
movie with the
yeah,
insane.
he
Cardinals.
was.
I don't know. Ethan's pretty good at casting. Who do you think should play? What president should play Branch Rickey in this upcoming
Like,
film?
I don't know what he looks like, but, like,
Are there pictures of
it's
Branch Rickey out
yeah.
there?
Yeah,
We could
I
probably
guess I'll
pull
have to
that up
look
real
have to
quick and
look it
just
up.
I also kinda got,
toss
like, a
that on.
question of, like so, like, they were dirt poor, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they got this farm system, like, how did they pay for, like, this farm system? Were they just kinda like, "Hey, you wanna be part of our minor league team? We'll pay you, like, in peanuts or something."
Yeah.
Like, where does the money come from a very broke
It
franchise?
sounded like they kind of had a monopoly on it. Like it seemed like they were kind of exploiting these like young players because like if they didn't sign them to the Cardinals or if they didn't bring them up to the Cardinals, they couldn't sign with any other teams though, could they?
Once they were brought up from the Cardinals, they couldn't, and other teams for whatever reason, they weren't latching onto that idea because once he had mentioned what he intended to do, and they had about a year or so of checking these players out, and the big selling point was you're going to play Major League Baseball, where even though they weren't millionaires then, they made a lot more than probably 95% of the country. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to just stick with the old school. Like, I just want a hitter to just hit the ball. I want to continue to like get my best players from other teams, and I'm not into all that analytical stuff. And that's
Yeah.
kind of how the owners were for a while.
I just put it up on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that picture of Branch Rickey. I
Yep,
mean,
there he is.
if we're sticking with Ronald Reagan being in the Cardinals
Like
movie
John
back in the day,
Cena?
I think
Yeah.
maybe Bill Clinton maybe could pull this off. You think? I think he'd be pretty charismatic for the role. I don't know.
Man, God,
About 40 years ago.
God rest his soul, and he was my favorite for the longest time. But Robin Williams would make a great Branch Rickey, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Well, with AI, anybody can play anyone now. So
No, true.
Yeah, that's pretty controversial now
you can
too.
probably
I
just
know,
grab Branch Rickey and have him play himself.
the Actors Union or whatever is all going crazy over retaining the rights to their likeness instead of using AI.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I wanted to mention about something that I wish I read in your book, because I know you kind of start from the beginning in the early days of sports in Missouri, and you kind of go through it all like year by year. One of the things that I was hoping to read about that I didn't get to see was when the Olympics came to St. Louis in 1904. It was like the only medal we have in soccer was literally won by CBC. It was like St. Mary's and CBC, like the high school teams.
Right.
They won like silver and bronze. They won like silver and bronze or maybe it was just one bronze or something. The only medal we have in soccer was won by a St. Louis high school team in the Olympics. We haven't won any since then. And it's kind of fishy because there were like 3 countries that showed up and one of them was the US. So it was like we were going to get a medal no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, still CBC can say,
baby.
Yeah.
CBC can say that they won a literal medal.
Those were some pretty good bragging
States.
rights.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, we don't have anything like that. I mean, if we can go through, our high school backgrounds, I know like, me and Nick, we're Chaminade guys. We graduated from Chaminade. We were probably 2 of the poorest kids to ever attend Chaminade. But, we still
speak for yourself, White.
I mean, we weren't driving, $100,000 cars to school or anything.
No.
So, I get that a lot. They're like, "Oh, you went to Chaminade. You must be, a rich daddy's boy."
Oh, the prejudice that comes with that, yeah.
But what did you go? You went to Vianney, didn't you, Charlie?
I currently work at Vianney.
And you currently work at Vianney. That's right.
Yeah, but I graduated from Chaminade. I was class of 11.
Know that?
I graduated the year before Nick.
You two went at the same time, Clayton.
What?
Yeah, you were there. You were 7th grade. Was his senior year?
No way.
Yeah.
I did not. That's so. I should have done my homework. I didn't realize that.
Oh no, man. That's no problem because it's just the merriness is all. And I think too is funny. So I'm at Chaminade, I'm at Vianney now, but I'm with you guys there too. And there's a lot of guys
you're coaching at Vianney
that I'm like, these are good. They're not, just like having everything handed to them and stuff like that. I was never really in that boat either, but I still have a lot of great memories from there. And like you guys got to go to school with Jayson Tatum, I got to go to school with Bradley Beal.
That's right. Yeah, were you in Bradley's class?
I'm sorry?
You were in Beal's class?
I was.
Because I remember him. I couldn't remember if he graduated when he graduated senior year, if me and Nick were 7th graders or 6th graders. I knew it was like early on in middle school, but we still got to see him in the hallways.
Brad was 2011 with Charlie, yeah.
Yeah. So he would have been a senior when you guys were in 7th grade. So you got did you start there in 6th grade, Clayton?
Yeah, so I started in 6th grade. I know, Nick, you started in 8th grade, yeah. I was going to say, right before high school.
Yeah. I started the year after Charlie left.
And of course, Ethan, you went to the St. Louis High School of
Fulton.
But
Go
Hornets.
I do want to just chime in for a quick second.
Fulton,
for
Missouri. Fulton High School, Missouri.
I just want to chime in for a quick second for people that might not know, but St. Louis is a pretty big private school city.
Yeah.
And Chaminade and Vianney are part of isn't it 6 big boy Catholic private schools, right?
Yeah, we're big boys.
Big boys.
At
But
least 6. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you got the 5 big ones Vianney, DeSmet, Chaminade, SLU, Priory, CBC. Yeah, and then there's the girl ones too. And I think it's due mostly because most of the population lives in the county, and I know the city schools are kind of underfunded and stuff, and it's just super popular. Not only to send it to your kid to a private school, but to a Catholic school, because there's so many Catholics. Who would have thought in a city named after a saint there would be so many Catholics?
Yeah, it's kind of a really unique thing to St. Louis, I would think.
I don't know, because when I lived in Baltimore, there were some Catholic schools over there, some single sex Catholic schools, but yeah, it seemed like nobody cares about high school as much as St. Louisans do. You can tell so much about
that's point in case.
You can tell so much about somebody by what high school they go to, except when except when it's completely
Kansas
wrong.
City,
everyone thinks I'm some rich kid, but it was the opposite. So
no, living in Kansas City, I ran into a lot of people who may have been proud of their individual school. It's oh yeah, I went to Rockhurst High or something like that. They didn't know anybody from any other school. They didn't know girls. That's a big thing that I always get is oh, dude, you went to an all boys school, so your first time seeing a girl was in college. Well, there's something to be said about that, but no, it's an incredible atmosphere of getting to meet everybody, and because St. Louis is such an all around private school based area, you get to meet a lot of different people from different walks.
Yeah, I love always telling people when they're like, "Oh, you met your wife in high school?" I'm like, "Yeah, she went to an all girls school." "You went to an all boys school? How the hell did that happen?" They're like, "Well, everyone goes to a single sex school in St. Louis, it seems like." So it happens. You meet through friends, and they got the freaking middle school mixers and high school mixers and stuff like that. But dude, the thing about another thing about Chaminade that was really cool was the house system, freaking Harry Potter. It was most of the time, you ask somebody, this happened all the time with, Ethan and I, we went to Mizzou together where, there's tons of St. Louisans that go to Mizzou, and you always run into somebody "Oh yeah, you're from St. Louis too. Well, what high school did you go to?" "Oh, I went to SLU." "Oh, did you know so-and-so?" "No, I didn't know so-and-so. They weren't in my class. I was class of 2016. So, if they weren't class of 2016, I didn't know them." We're Chaminade with the house system. It's I knew, when I was a senior, I knew tons of 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders by name because they were in my house, which was pretty sweet. So it's oh, all the Chaminade guys know all these grade levels because of it, which I thought was a nice touch. I think more people should do that.
I think that's one of the most unique things about Chaminade is their house system. I was also very, very impressed with the international students they've had there and the dorms they have there at a St. Louis high school.
Especially now.
Yeah, the dorm is nice.
But the house system there itself, it started 2 years before I started there. And then, Clayton, what house were you?
I was Meyer, the Meyer house.
Darn it.
So I assume
the only reason I'm gray is because Charlie was Clayton.
Right. You guys were both in the same house because you were related to each other. So that makes sense. Don't you feel really left out on St. Louis high schools, Ethan?
Oh,
yeah. How was Fulton?
Massively.
How was Fulton High School?
What house would you have been in, Ethan?
He would have been in the Hornet house. Go Hornets.
I would have been in the house with 2 income parents because that would probably separated me out quite a bit. But I don't know, that was a really weird thing being introduced to when I met
as
you
an
in
outsider
college.
to St. Louis.
Yeah.
You're that's kind of weird.
Especially getting asked what high school did you go to? It's I already told you what town I'm from. I went to that high school in that town. Just
I would. Yeah, what high school did you go to? It's literally the name of my town, high school.
High school.
Every little town But I mean, Fulton's not super. I mean, it's a little town compared to St. Louis, but like it's got some cool stuff there. You know, that's where the Iron Curtain speech by Winston Churchill was, and they got the Berlin Wall and stuff. There's a college there. There's 2 colleges there, right?
Yeah, and they were shrinking for a little bit, and they're growing for.
You've partied
They've
there?
been growing. Yeah.
Is that what you said?
William Woods, is that one of them? Yeah,
You've partied at Williams.
I went
Woods?
down. Yeah, I sure
Do
as hell have.
They have crazy parties at William Woods.
They got sorority houses. Yeah.
No.
Oh, really?
We went downtown there. I think there was a single bar.
Downtown. Oh, the historic Brick District.
I could name all 3 bars.
There's one that we went down a couple stairs. That's
the underground.
Yeah, Ethan's brother
it's
is
underground.
Such a huge fan of one of the bars out there. He literally bought the closest house he possibly. It's literally like
it's across the street.
It's across the street. That'll tell you something about Ethan's brother. I love you, Nate, but you know I gotta dunk on you here a little bit. Right across the street from the bar, because that's where he is every night.
There's literally a tree in the way of him viewing the bar, and he's like, "How can I get rid of this tree? I want to be able to view the bar from my front porch."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, changing topics a little bit. Just recently, there is now sports betting live in Missouri. Have you guys taken advantage of this yet?
You know that my father has.
Your father has?
I know. I could have placed a wager on whether or not Mark's gotten in on it yet.
The sports betting, I totally would, but I'm not a gambler.
Yeah,
it's not something that I was ever into. Not even doing something as little as DraftKings or anything like that. But I think it's good. I think it's a great revenue generator for St. Louis and Missouri.
Yeah,
in the city for that.
It's a careful balance. It's a careful balance between like morally, you know, because it's rigged against people. You know, over long term, it's rigged against the people.
That's
who
why they
place
set
bets.
odds. Yeah,
yeah.
It's not 50-50. There's pushes.
Yeah, if you place like an insane bet and you win, like they can just cancel it. Like they can just say, "Oh, actually, we're not gonna pay that out." There's nothing you can do about it. But still, yeah, a lot of it goes to the schools.
There's Jonte Porter too. So
Jonte Porter,
Mizzou legend, by the way.
Mizzou legend Jonte Porter, who we would see him in the hallways at Mizzou, along with his brother MPJ. Dude, it makes me so mad. You know, you're repping Mizzou. I've got some of my Mizzou stuff behind me right now, but oh my God, the Porters were just a blessing and a curse to Mizzou. It seemed like they would literally step on the court and then they would literally just die.
Here goes my ACL.
Everything, they would just fall apart. There was that one year he's like, oh yeah, he went and played a pickup game.
Yeah, versus Kansas,
right before he hurt himself in the pickup game right before the season started, and it just completely ruined everything for the whole season. I feel like he didn't come back until like March Madness, and I mean we were like a first round exit every year.
I think his sisters were like that too. Like his sisters also played Mizzou basketball, and I think they were just like, yeah, our
injury
ACL
prone
should also disappear too.
Here comes Porter Jr. onto the court, and his ACL just disappears.
Down he goes.
I saw it. It was there a second ago. It is no longer here.
Explains why Mizzou, like MU Healthcare, always advertises at the basketball games.
Yeah, I'm going to place a parlay tonight. I'm going to put MPJ
over under ACLs torn.
Over 20 points, under 1.5 ACLs. Or do you need 3 for a parlay? I'm not a bettor either. You can do 2 for a parlay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's my parlay.
Anything plays. I think we should all throw together a wild parlay on our podcast and check in, see if it's maybe we can get a punishment for the loser, something like that. Ethan has to go out and we can collect signatures at his local Walmart.
And he's who's your baseball team? Do we have any Cubs fans in here?
Oh my God.
Okay, good, because then you wear that jersey, you wear the Cubs jersey, and then you have a sign stamped your back. Suck it at such and such.
I was like, you Cubs fans here. It's like hope
This
not on
this
that
is not
STL
the
pod.
this is not the
Good.
podcast for
On
that.
that
Good,
STL
good,
pod,
good.
there will
Well, there
be
you
no
go.
Cubs
Yes. Well,
fans.
whoever gets last place, your punishment is you got to wear a Cubs jersey and have a sign on your back that says "I suck
God.
at fantasy this or that."
Yeah, like the typical fantasy punishment. Yeah.
And it's better to
My
wear a
God.
shirt than I think to have it on your car, because people can actually see you when you're walking down the street a lot clearer than they can see you driving a car.
Yeah. God, I don't want to
Like
be
maybe
caught.
me and Clayton have to like eat a hot pepper if we lose, and then Ethan has to get like a
No,
cigarette
dude.
put out on his forearm.
Oh,
That's
Jesus,
literally like
imagine that.
my worst nightmare is like losing some bet and having to eat some just insanely like one of the
We
hottest
can get
peppers.
a hot ones challenge going on
Dude,
one of these.
that is like my worst fear. I'm like, I do not want to eat anything like that. And
So don't
like
take that
even
bet
for
then.
fun. I'm never gonna take a
Or just
bet
don't
where
lose.
If there's a chance I lose, I have to eat like a freaking hot pepper.
Clayton, your
God,
parlays
I would
better hit
die.
then, buddy.
Yeah.
My parlays always hit.
Then I'd tell them
I-
think of something else.
Well, dude, yeah, my parlays always hit. When I was in Maryland, living in Maryland, they like there was like the new thing, like, oh, you know, sports betting is going live in Maryland. If you deposit $5 in DraftKings, you get $200 to do. And so I did that for like every sports book that was out there, and I had like tons of money to play with. It was super fun. They're doing that all now again in Missouri. You know, you put in $10, you get 200, something like that. I don't know if that means that I can do it again now that I'm in a new state. That
I don't think
know,
though.
you think
so. I think it's
they'll-
tied to like your social security number.
I know you have to put in your social security, so I don't know if they will give it to me
That's how they get you.
again.
Just wait for Nina to turn 18 and just be like, Nina, I need
talking about my
your social
sister.
security number.
Don't talk about my sister. She
18 or
did
21
just turn
available.
18. Happy birthday, Nina.
Oh,
She
you have
just
to be
recently
21?
turned 18.
Happy birthday, Nina.
Happy birthday.
Oh, you do have to be 21. You do have to be 21. Changing topics again. I just wanted to shout out here, and I was looking some, I like to talk about like things that are very unique to St. Louis, to brag about St. Louis. You know, one of the reasons I started like my TikTok channel, my Instagram channel to begin with, and coming up with that STL guy is when I lived in Baltimore. You know, I didn't realize how much I loved St. Louis until I moved out. And I was in a new city, and I'm like, God, I just miss. It wasn't even just like missing home. It's like I just miss like the pride of this city. Like I wanted to be someone who reps St. Louis, and so like literally, if I can say, and this might be offensive, people that have like autism, they know they're really into Sonic, they're really into stuff like that. I've got like the tism for St. Louis, and that's I'm very prideful about that.
STL-tism,
You know, because people in Baltimore, they'd be like, even like my coworkers, like, oh, can you hand this paperwork to that STL guy, like the guy who never shuts the fuck up about St. Louis? Can you give this to him? Because I don't know what his name is, but I know that he just never shuts the hell up about St. Louis. Give that to this guy. So I just like everyone, that's what people would call me. So I'm like, that's gotta be the handle. I thought about doing Mr. St. Louis.
And a man was born.
But Mr. St. Louis might sound too much like Mr. Beast. I don't know. I wanted
thinking
You
Mr.
dropped
Trophy.
100 people in East St. Louis, and
for $100 million.
yes,
God. Anyway, this is one thing I wanted to throw out there that I thought was just an insane, like kind of flex about St. Louis that many people might not know about. I'll share my screen up here right now. I don't know if any of you guys, I know one of you is kind of into esports. If any of you guys are into esports besides Ethan, St. Louis is actually like becoming kind of an insane place to like be in the esports scene, like to watch esports, to like come to St. Louis for a scholarship to play esports. Here's like the college League of Legends like championships. You can see here, literally ever since they've started doing it in 2015, St. Louis has 1, 2, 3, 4 championships in the college League of Legends for esports. And look, they got real prize pool money up here. This is $35,000. Why is this one $190,000? This one's $360,000. This is a typo, right? Why would it get cheaper over the years?
I have no idea what esports pays.
That's
Well,
crazy. Why would it
Can
pay
you hover over the
$360?
Columbia College one? Because isn't that the Columbia College from Columbia, Missouri too?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so
I don't
that's
know,
like
like Missouri is turning into like this
yeah.
crazy esports hub. It's coming this crazy esports hub. You've got Maryland University, Maryville University, right there on 6440. They have 3 championships, and they've got second place 3 times. You got SLU that won in 2024, and yeah, Columbia College over
Who's
here
the
as
St.
well.
Thomas guy?
Who is that St. Thomas guy? Yeah, where is this? University of St. Thomas.
Houston.
Boy, I wish I knew where.
Can I search this?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, it says. University of St. Thomas in Minnesota.
Well, it says University in Houston at the top.
Is it really?
Yes. For the
it does
first
say in
and
Houston,
only
Texas.
sentence.
Yeah, God. Well, when I searched on Google, it popped up as University of Thomas, Minnesota. There must be a different one in. Oh yeah, no, there are 2. A Catholic university in Houston. There we go. More Catholics. So the Catholics love esports. Look, this is Catholic. Maryville's Catholic. SLU's Catholic. I assume St. Thomas is Catholic. So that's crazy. I don't know. Not only are they like have the most esports, I guess, League of Legends championships, like the professional League of Legends scene, they play in like most of them are like franchises. But then there's like an open slot, and Maryville University plays as like a professional team with all the other like established franchises, like a school here in St. Louis, which I think is pretty cool. My brother, he was on St. Louis University High School's esports team. He played League of Legends there, and they actually went to state, and they won the state championship for League of Legends, and they were undefeated. And like the quality, like production that they put on is actually like pretty top notch, you know?
Yeah, wasn't it at like Ballpark Village right outside Busch Stadium?
They did a like tournament. They did a tournament at Ballpark Village, and they like put them all on the stage, and there was like a crowd and everything. Like the quality was actually pretty cool. So shout out to my brother Cam. The only athlete in our is esports. You're an athlete in esports. He's the only state champion.
We played basketball with Jayson.
We did, and I guess we got to talk about
near a state champion. If we would have made the team, we got to
talk about that now that you brought it up. You know, I was going to save that for whenever we hit up Tatum. You know, we still have his phone number. He's probably changed.
Inevitable podcast guy.
He's probably he'll be changed it since high school, but seems kind of shitty to reach out. We were friendly with each other. We were never in the same cliques, but that would be awesome to like interview him on this someday. That would be amazing. And now we know that we have a classmate of Beal too. So you got to reach out to Beal as well, get them on. That would be amazing. But you go ahead.
He's not doing too much right now. I think he's out for the season. So.
Oh yeah, dude, he is.
Plenty of time for a podcast.
Well, that'd be a good example there.
He's got time right now. Unfortunately, he's got time right now.
Around him, think about what he would be.
So does Jay, for that matter.
He deserves a winner.
Nick, why don't you tell the good people about how we played?
Yeah, let's get into it.
We played high school. Listen here, me and Nick, we played high school ball with Jayson Tatum, and
no one can ever take that away from us.
No one can ever take that away from us. And if you're watching right now and you're from Chaminade, you're in our class, and you're like, those guys didn't fucking play basketball. Give them some context to that, Nick.
Yeah. So it's a cold, brisk.
Set the scene.
Probably late October.
Was the night before Christmas,
2015. I laced up my bright red platform Nikes, in no way, shape, or form basketball shoes. Threw on a t-shirt and probably my gym shorts from my gym locker, where me and Clayton decided, the worst they can say is no. So we get out there. There are names like Jayson Tatum, like Tyler Cook, who played in the league for a little while, Mikey Lewis, currently playing in Europe.
Yeah, Will Gladstone, who played for Princeton.
Princeton.
Yeah, in March Madness and all that.
Other top class athletes, for even other sports. Not to name drop too many. But shout out Isaac. Love you, man.
Shout out Isaac.
So yeah, love Isaac. He's a good kid. But so me and Clayton get out there, and they have everybody starting to run drills. I would say about 1 minute in, Clayton and I get pulled aside. They want to see us one-on-one. I think personally it's probably not to distract from the people who are going to make the team. But they picked us out real quick.
Mind you, I'm pretty sure the way that they had this worded, and I could be wrong, this is the Men Who Are Often Wrong podcast. The way that they had like it worded, like, come try out for the Chaminades basketball team. Mind you, this was the year that we won state championship in basketball for Missouri. And all these players go on to have incredible, like, scholarships and play college ball. They play, in the NBA. And
I don't think anyone starting on that team didn't go D1 and
right,
something.
Exactly. The wording of like the email of like, come try out for basketball. It was like, you're basically on the team. You're like, if you sign up, you are on the team until you get cut. There is no tryouts and then you make the team. It's like you're on the team until you get cut. So I remember it wasn't just me and you. It was like, we had like, it was almost like a senior prank kind of thing where we had like a bunch of people, banded together. We're like, we're going to go and we're going to join the Chaminade basketball team with all these future, basketball stars. And we're going to say, we played high school ball with these people. It's going to be great. We're all going to go out and we're going to suck and it's going to be a great time. And same as you, I didn't even own a pair of basketball shoes. Like I had some like Adidas, like low top looking things. And probably some.
I may still own the shoes that I tried out in.
Yeah.
I should frame those. So we get out there and, I think the idea, Clayton, was that we'd get some people together, like Brendan and some other friends. I think it only really narrowed down to us because I remember
everyone chickened
us
out.
Two picked off. They had us go one-on-one with each other to see if there was any worth in picking us for the team.
We were playing by ourselves.
Didn't end well. But completely by ourselves.
There's
12
Everyone's
other people
drills.
doing their own things, running drills, just getting into it. And they have Clayton and I playing some one-on-one, dribbling off our feet. Oh, God. And so practice continues, and they get to the part where they split up into a red versus white team. And I just remember one glorious play. I inbounded the ball, immediately threw it to Jayson because that's what you do if you're on the Chaminade basketball team. You give the rock to the kid. And and
pass the ball to the Italians.
Assist.
You got an assist.
So I have an assist, not in the real game, but I can say I lobbed the ball up to the Jayson Tatum of the Boston Celtics.
It doesn't need to be a real game. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a real game.
All I need to say is I did it.
Yep. I just remember I was so mad that everyone that said they were going to come to the tryouts, I feel like we had it like 10 people.
No stones of that group.
And then it was just us two. And we're like, should we still do this? I'm like, I get like, sure. It's not as funny that we don't have like a whole squad with us to walk into the tryouts and be like, oh yeah, these guys are obviously, doing a bit here. It wasn't as funny when it was just us two doing the bit.
No, it was not as funny. No. What I will say, I think Clayton took his hat in hand, walked up to Coach and said, I appreciate it. This isn't for me. I thought I had another day in me. Coach thought otherwise. He pulled me aside and he said, hey buddy, I appreciate what you did here. I don't, I said, I'm sorry, Coach. I don't want to feel like I wasted your time. He said, you did not waste my time. Not at all. Coach Frank Bennett, really good guy. He said,
Bennett.
We got a lot of talented guys this year, and unfortunately, it's not in the cards.
Yeah, no shit. We've got a lot of talented guys.
Show up to every game and get loud. So that was cool. I posted an Instagram story that night, Clayton. If you could pull that up, it has some notable comments on it. Just that I tried out for the team, And that was my first
You have
comment and
that?
like from Jayson.
You put that on. You look.
Oh yeah, it's still
you
on
look
my
that up for
on
me.
my Instagram.
You can
I'll
look
pull
that up. And yeah, I remember. I didn't know that you wanted to do another practice. I just thought we were. I mean, we obviously showed.
I was going to go until they told me not to. I thought,
awful.
I don't think I understood fully how many people could make the team, and I thought if I can get a jersey and ride the bench, this will be the best year of my life.
I think there was
or
at
least
some point
be like a team captain
free ring.
or something.
At some point going in, I was like, there's a chance I can make it, right? There's a chance I can make it. And then, dude, like seeing everybody else, they were just leagues of, I mean, they were so talented. But no, dude, at the end of that practice, that tryout, it was like, I just remember, I remember telling Coach Ben, I'm like, Coach, thank you for the opportunity, man. I will see you later, Coach.
These guys.
Thank you for the opportunity. I will see you later.
See you
I didn't even have him come up to me and be like, yeah, this isn't going to work. I just like was, see ya. I know I'm not. I just wanted to say that I was on the team until I got cut, quote, quote. I didn't even let him cut me. I just said, thank you for the opportunity. I will see you later. That's funny that
so technically
I didn't
never cut.
About that.
Technically
still
that's what
on
I'm
the
hearing.
team.
Are you still?
Yeah, we're still on the team.
They play tonight.
Oh, they play tonight?
He's going to miss his 790th consecutive game.
We got to get on down to Creve Coeur right now. Get on down to 425 South Lindbergh Boulevard. Let's get it.
Hey,
Who
Coach,
we playing
I never got
tonight?
my ring.
Who are we playing tonight?
No, they're not playing Vianney tonight. I know that.
No, they're not playing Vianney?
No.
We're 28 years old. We'll crush some. No,
get
those
them out there.
16, 17-year-olds will still whoop our ass, dude. They're probably all taller than us as well. One thing I wanted to ask you guys, because while you're looking up this post, I don't know if you're still looking for it.
Yeah,
some things I want to ask.
I almost got it.
Ethan and Charlie is, I think basketball is one of those things where it's the thing that I don't watch as much as everything else because St. Louis doesn't have a basketball team. That would be amazing if we did. I know Tatum's trying to help get a WNBA team to St. Louis right now, but there's one thing that I just really rubs me the wrong way about basketball. And that's that like fouling is like, it's advantageous to foul in basketball. Like there is no other sport where if you commit a penalty, it helps you, except in the last 2 minutes of basketball where you have to. I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's like, I wouldn't want 2 minutes left in a hockey game, the Blues, and, letting the other team go on the power play would be to your advantage. But no, in basketball, you foul, you hope they miss their free throws and you get the ball back. You get another chance, I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way.
So here's that glorious post of the Chaminade Field, letting everyone know that I did not make the team, to much surprise. But Tyler Cook, Jayson Tatum.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Look, it's got the check mark on it too.
Isaac,
you got
as previously mentioned.
You got two NBA players right there telling you good job.
So
that's amazing.
Those are some bragging rights right there.
That's amazing.
Claim to fame.
Yeah,
my Clinton's still on the team.
I'm still on the team apparently because he didn't cut me. I just said, see ya. Thanks for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
He just forgot to remove me from the database.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Here we go.
Call him up and say, hey, where's my championship ring?
We gotta reach out to Tatum. He might, I don't know. Worst he could say is no, right?
Worst he can say is no. Same as joining the team.
Your old teammate Clay here. I don't know. He wished me a happy birthday on Instagram. That was pretty cool. So
how many years ago was that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I posted that Instagram. If I would have kept the tab up, I could have showed you that one too. I just had a question I wanted to run past the boys.
Yeah.
All right. So, while on the topic of Chaminade real quick, and I floated this idea in the group chat. We've talked about Chaminade. We've talked about beer. Gentlemen, what what high school campuses would you most want to crack a cold one on in St. Louis?
Well, one I already have done in that, but I'm not going to say where that's at, but I would say one of them is probably SLU High would be
SLU's a good one.
The top campus. I want it to be one of the Catholic schools Whether
yeah.
it was all guys or all girls or co-ed, it doesn't matter. Like MICDS. MICDS would be cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a bucket list high
Yeah.
school there.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yeah.
it would be a more appropriate thing to think about which beer appropriately matches each school. Like if I'm going to crack a beer,
Sure.
you know, if
We
I'm
can
going to
get into
hang out
that.
on a school campus, crack a beer with the boys, like if
Yep.
I'm in Melville, you know, what do they drink? I feel like Melville's probably like, I don't know, this probably, you know, everyone gives,
Pabst?
yeah, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say, PBR. You know, everyone gives Melville, you know, all those like South County schools are like, oh no, you're, you know, the Hoosiers down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like a PBR at Melville might be appropriate. I don't know if you go to MICDS, what are they drinking up there? You know, that's
Champagne.
Banquet.
yeah,
They're-
Coors Banquet, the banquet of beers, Stella Artois,
Champagne would be.
yeah, the
Stella,
champagne of beers.
Heineken, and probably a little bit of not just beer too, but they'd probably add a little bit of fine wine too.
Oh my god.
Oh, there we go. A nice Pinot Noir for MICDS.
I apologize to all the students of Melville. But maybe they're like, hell yeah.
I want to go on the record and formally unapologize.
We are
Okay,
doubling
well,
down.
just
Come at
screw
me,
it.
Melville.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Come at me, Melville.
canceled
Doubling down
from-
on Melville.
Yep.
doubling down. This is an anti-Melville podcast now. So that's awesome.
Certify it. Chaminade. Let's do it. What three of us are from here? What best constitutes Chaminade in a beer?
Budweiser.
I was thinking Budweiser.
I was thinking, yeah, because it's red, right?
Red and
Bud
white.
heavy.
It's red and white. and it's the king.
classic, old as hell.
It's red and white. It's old as hell, and it's the king. It's the king of beers.
Matches.
King of beers.
Slew would be Bud Light, blue and white. Chaminade would be Budweiser, red and white.
I thought Coors would go to CBC. Just kind of for everybody. Nothing special about it, but it's for everybody. I'm making enemies. I'm making enemies on this podcast.
These high schools are going to hate we're associating them with alcohol. Probably love that.
Hey, I Chaminade has served me beer before. Not
Speaking-
in high school. I will go on the record and say that. It was an alumni event. I was 20.
Right. And speaking of beer, Anheuser-Busch. If anyone from Anheuser-Busch is listening, we need sponsors. So anyone
Please.
who's looking to maybe get a little ad spot in here, just hit me up at clay@stlguy.com. Work something out. It's our first episode, so we got no sponsors. So maybe we can get some sponsors in the future. Budweiser would be cool, but they won't care about small time podcasts like this. But yeah, if anybody wants, anybody out there wants
cut pizza here.
Yeah.
Let's go to Emos.
Yeah.
Some
Let's see some
emos, some
Whitakers.
Cecil's, something like that.
I was
Emos-
thinking,
Cecil's-
I know some
They're
people. I know some
also-
emos. We can make that happen.
you guys, I know you guys got some connections with one of my favorite things to say. One of my favorite St. Louis slogans to say. I say it very often. Be like, if I'm getting a deal, I'm like, oh, that's a Don Brown deal right there. No matter what, even if it's not
I
about
talked to Don,
cars. Yeah, I know you guys know Don. Yeah, hook us up.
Oh,
my uncle Don.
Give us some Don Brown deals. I wanted to talk about something that you actually put down here on the docket, and I actually really like this, and I think this could be a pretty great topic. The Mount Rushmore of St. Louis athletes, right?
Amen.
Yes.
Just current ones.
And just current ones.
St. Louis. Yes.
And it's, first of all,
Yeah,
I want to hear
there's
Ethan's as an outsider of St. Louis.
yes.
I want to hear, because like we know all the like St. Louis athletes and what high schools they went to and stuff like that. I want to see if you can name any off the top of your head, just from like hearing us jabber.
Can you make them out Rushmore?
Yeah, can you make a Mount Rushmore of St. Louis current St. Louis athletes?
No.
You can't name one.
I
Can
can name a few.
Yeah, at
Can I
least
name
one.
a few
Name
that you
four.
haven't listed today?
Yeah,
Oh wait,
Anything
isn't
goes.
Kyron Williams right?
yeah, Kyron
yeah.
Williams, dude.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. I
Look at
have
that.
him on
Look at-
my
Look at Charlie's shirt. He's
Yanni
repping
Griffin.
Yanni.
Yanni Griffin.
Okay.
Earlier this year, we actually retired his number, and I got to say hi to him and meet him because I'm in their communications department.
Oh, you met
Oh,
him.
Fantastic.
There we go.
So he is
another
gonna-
future
those
interview.
four. Yes.
Another
He
future
was my
interview. Here we go.
Abraham
We're racking them up
Lincoln, I
now.
believe, on the Mount Rushmore statue.
Yeah. Who else haven't we named here today?
Ezekiel Elliott has retired, right?
Correct.
Officially.
Correct.
Is he? Are you sure
I don't know
he's
if it
not
came
on
out.
Is he on a roster right now? He might be on a
Maybe a
roster
free
right
agent.
now. He might be a free agent. Yeah. He went to John Burroughs. Yeah.
Yep, he went to Burroughs.
He went to John Burroughs. I mean, he was pretty sick for years. I mean, he was like the running back. Like you wanted to take him first in fantasy at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But I mean, of course, I want to throw out Max Scherzer because I mean, I can't
Chesterfield
name.
boy.
Yeah, Chesterfield boy.
I'm a
Where did he go to
boy.
high school? Where did Scherzer go to high school? Was that in?
Let's take a look. I bet I can find that out.
If he went to Chesterfield, what do you go? Like
Parkway
Lafayette
Central.
or something?
He went to Parkway Central.
He went to Parkway Central.
Right on.
Okay.
Yep.
Dude, I was just watching some John Boy videos recently
Parkway, yeah.
with Max Scherzer. I mean, he's so freaking fun to watch. And he's like one of the oldest pitchers in the MLB right now. He's still just like killing it.
Should have won a ring last year.
Yeah, dude. The Toronto Blue Jays, America's team. America's team.
No way, man. I mainly wanted a 7-game series, but I'm never opposed to the National League winning it. And I don't
really
hate I don't hate the Dodgers. There's really no team in baseball that I hate. There's teams in other sports that I hate, but point being, put Max Scherzer back up there because also he's a good luck charm. Not only is he really good, but wherever he goes, he always appears in the World Series. He's played in 4 different World Series with 4 different teams, and I think he's won 2 of them, 2 or 3. No, he's won 2 of them. He won with the Washington Nationals, and he also won. He lost with the Tigers, and then he went to Washington. But yeah, we don't have to get into that. Point being, put him up there.
I could never pull for the Dodgers though, dude. We were talking earlier about how we were the poorest team in baseball and we got all these amazing, from your book, like they had to value statistics, like they were getting all the young guys, signing them all because we couldn't afford the big hitters. The Cardinals invented the shift. Like they had to do that because they were so poor. 46. They invented the shift. Mm-hmm. They were teaching players how to slide. They were calling up people based on how fast they could run.
Yep.
It's like, how can you get an edge now when a team can spend $1 billion on one player and defer the money 10 years from now? And you can take that money in the meantime and invest it. So it's like, you're not spending $1 billion and like losing $1 billion. You're investing $1 billion. Like they will have made more money by the time it comes to pay him 10 years down the line. The Cardinals can't do that.
No.
It's like, where's our edge now? What are we going to do? We will never sign a superstar again, it feels like.
Well, that part I will disagree with, but the other part too is
disagree with it. We won't sign a superstar.
Going out, and I know the game continues to evolve, it continues to change, and the Dodgers are clearly the face of baseball right now. And I don't think any of that is fair with like the no salary cap or anything. But that's but it's not a reason to complain because what big player through free agency have the Cardinals really? Because look at all the great ones like Pujols, Molina. We didn't get them from those big teams. The Cardinals ended up growing them. So I get it. Like if they want to go over to LA 10 years from now, that's fine. But that's the downside of what free agency did to the game. Because baseball would have never stood for that. Years ago when the reserve clause was still in play. And there were still those high market teams. There were still those high market teams in New York and in Philadelphia and everything like that the Cardinals struggled to compete with. But the Cardinals have never been that team to go out and get that big guy. I mean, I think a good example would be McGuire, but we didn't win anything with him. We got publicity better than anybody with him, but we didn't win anything with him. Stan the Man, we didn't get from. Same with Bob Gibson. I would say maybe Lou Brock would be someone we got from the Cubs, but he was a terrible player when he started off with the Cubs. No one thought he was that big guy. And when we have gotten that big signing, they haven't done anything. I'm sorry, Goldschmidt, Arenado, those two guys never did anything. And they were never, I mean, they're not the big players like Ohtani in them, but they've never kind of been that team anyways. And the way that they're supposed to compete is really, as cheesy as it sounds, the way that they have been, and the way too that the Dodgers are doing now. It's easy to say that now because they're winning, but look at what the Yankees were doing for so long. They were always winning, and now they haven't done anything for a long time. And a lot of times you might get these big players. The Dodgers have scouted well. They've got good scouts too. I don't think it's fair to just completely put, and I'm not defending the Dodgers. I'm a Cardinals guy through and through. You guys know that. When we play them, I want to beat the living crap out of them. But they have good scouts, and they've been able to get these players that play well, because a lot of times you can get a free agent and they are just going to be a clubhouse disease. They're going to be a clubhouse cancer. So if the Dodgers want to get all those star players, how far is that going to go? Is that going to go for, like, are the Dodgers going to dominate baseball for the next 40 straight years?
Oh, God,
I kind of hope not. I certainly hope not.
It certainly seems like right now they're just.
I'm in favor of the salary cap, but unfortunately, the players will never settle for that in our life.
Right, and I get why they have the salary cap in like the NHL, because it's not as big of a market. There's not as much money being thrown around. I mean, like, what? The highest paid player in the NHL is only getting like $13 million a year or something like that. I'm often wrong. It's the name of the podcast, but I'm pretty sure it's around like $13 million a year. That's like nothing in the MLB.
Not compared to anything that any of these guys are making
in
now.
NBA.
And I'd be remiss. We brought up Mount Rushmore. We didn't. My good personal friend Matthew Tkachuk. Come on, boys.
Yeah, that's, oh my God, because I actually had that written down. I was like, we can't not mention the Tkachuk brothers. We're beating
either of them. Brady,
we're beating the Chaminade thing to death. But I mean, like, we have 3 Chaminade guys on the podcast. But like,
produce good athletes.
We had Matthew in our class, and then Brady was a few years younger. Brady's the captain of a team, a Canadian team, and Matthew is winning Stanley Cups. I mean, one of them has to be on the Mount Rushmore right now.
It's a tough one to narrow down, and if you had to do the Mount Rushmore of them, you have to put Tatum on there. And if you're going to put both Tkachuk players on there, then are you going to include Kyron Williams, or are you going to have to cut him, or are you going to include Max Scherzer, or are you going to have to cut him? Then who gets the edge there? Because we all know the success Max Scherzer has had, and he's still dominant, but I don't think he's as.
If we're going off of rings, we have to delete Brady.
Delete Brady?
Brady Tkachuk and then
Brady Tkachuk, not Tom. Come on.
Oh, I don't know why that crossed my mind. I'm like, you bring up rings and Brady. I'm like, yeah, he's got 6 of them.
Tatum's got a ring. Matthew Tkachuk's got a ring.
Matt's got
has 4. Kyron Williams does not have one with the Rams.
I think you're talking about Mount Rushmore. Like, literally there's 4, right?
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
4 on Mount Rushmore. Right? So if you're gonna have 4, I think 2 of them have to be Bradley
Teddy
Beal,
Bridgewater, George Pickens, Abraham, and there's another president up there.
Oh, good Lord. That was funny.
I did what I can.
I was like, hold on. Broke my brain a bit.
I couldn't come up with a football player with the name of Abraham.
If we're doing 4,
this is where I
mean,
flat.
the 2 right now, it has to be Beal and Tatum. Beal, Tatum, the most success in basketball.
Beal right now?
And like, I feel like St. Louisans are producing like great basketball players. I think you got to emphasize that. I think in baseball, it's got to be Max Scherzer. So I think there's one left, and I can't really think of any. I mean, it's got to be a Tkachuk brother. I would lean more Matthew because he has the
rings.
He's got the Stanley Cup.
He has the cup.
I would have to lean more towards him. one more thing before we wrap this up. One final topic here. College playoffs are coming up. Mizzou has kind of lost its chances. Probably after, when Pribula went down. What game was that? That wasn't. It was like the Vanderbilt
Alabama.
game.
I think
it was the Vandy game. I was watching that on my phone at a wedding.
The freshman threw a Hail Mary, got it caught, and went down at the 0.1 yard line.
Yeah, but anyway, college playoffs are coming up. Mizzou's got no chance anymore. But John Grundy, he put out a video recently on his YouTube channel where he's like, "I've solved the college playoff format." And I was watching it. Actually, I think this would be like amazing for college football because he suggested sort of a format where it's like the top 6 teams, the top 6 seeds in the college playoff format. They're going to be like the champions of like, the SEC and like all the other conferences and stuff. And they're going to obviously be like top ranked teams as well. So it's like there's going to be 6 teams that are going to get in there. But he's like, it's not fair that they have to play in their like conference championship game while there's going to be all these other teams that are going to have like a week off. They're going to be all like rested up. They're going to be like more prepared, and they're not going to play in a game while all these
and the worst teams,
all these and all these other teams are going to be playing for conference championships, SEC conference championships and stuff like that. Where he's like, I want this new format where the other, like the bottom 6, they'll actually have to play like sort of a matching. He had this like matching,
like a
deal.
play-in like system, like they
Yeah,
have
it
for
was
the
like kind of like a
NCAA
wild
tournament.
card like playoff where it's like he's like, I want to put everyone on the same playing field. Those top 6 teams, they have to play. That means those bottom 6 teams also have to play. And so he matched up like, the number 7 seed, whoever it is that, have the week, they will have the game off. They would play like the number 25 ranked college team. And they would like go down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. In
Get
that
Mizzou
case,
in there.
in that case, Mizzou, are we ranked right now still?
Tigers.
I think we're like barely ranked.
Are we in the top 25?
We're in the 20s.
So I mean, in that case, there would maybe be a chance that we would,
19.
if we went with his format, that we could be paired up with one of those bottom 6 seeds of the 12-team format, and if you win, you go to the college playoffs. I think that'd be really exciting. That'd be more like exciting, like March Madness. It's like winner takes all to get into it. You'll never not be out of the playoffs. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
The winner take all, I'm always for, especially when it comes to
so
that in college football. And the fans, it'll probably draw some fans to the games too that are not big college football fans.
Right.
I'll admit, I've been watching less football now that I know that Mizzou's not competing for as much. So you keep them in that, you're probably looking at higher ratings, and you can still market these big games, even though it's a 13 versus a 22 seed, where, maybe people aren't as interested anymore after they know their team's eliminated.
Yeah.
So
I've sort of been losing interest.
I'm here for it. I like watching bowl games, but
it's like not everyone watches
something.
It's
not
not
everybody
the same.
watches
Let's
the
be
bowl
real.
games.
No.
If you want to watch
No.
for the glory and the championship and the competition, that doesn't do it for me. Those bowl games. You want to just watch football.
Basically like, a 1 seed versus the 16 seed, and the 16 seed gets to go to the playoffs.
Let's get a Cinderella story going in college football.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and like
there's no room for it right now. There's no room for Cinderella stories in college football. You have to have been good. I mean, you could say maybe Indiana is this year, but they're great, and we know that now. I want to know somebody who is underperform. Like a last chance U team still has a chance and some glory because no one's ever truly out of it, or at least there's more people who are in it for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
It's not like the networks are going to be mad about, playing one more SEC football game. Like they ruined like the NFL playoff by making a 7 seed by just adding one more game.
I don't want to make more money.
Yeah.
No.
Fox News. Yeah, like Fox or CBS or ABC wouldn't be like, millions of dollars. We're good.
We're fine. We don't need that.
We made enough money. In fact, we're going to donate some now. I've never heard them say that.
We're going to give this all to women's basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully.
It's women's basketball season starting right up. We
Yeah.
can encroach on that.
we'll have to touch more on maybe St. Louis getting a WNBA team in 2028 possibly in the next episode. But we've hit our hour, which went by faster than I thought. So you guys have any parting thoughts before we go? No.
Go
Blues. Always know that.
Go Blues. Yeah.
Yep.
We need it right now.
Drink brews.
Got all the injuries right now.
We still booze, and win, lose, we're still St. Louis fans, and the pride will never waver.
That's what I'm saying. The wise words from Charlie. Wise words from Charlie. Go check out his book, Spirit of Missouri.
Buy his book. Read it. It's awesome.
I can guarantee he will also give you a signed copy.
And you could get that graded. PSA 10.
PSA grade that book.
Yeah, that's right. You can.
Charlie, do you want to plug your book here for the last minute?
Man.
Do you have anything to say about it? Where to buy it?
So, where can we get this?
So the book can be purchased on the website of Publishing Concepts, publishingconcepts.com, or you could buy them directly from me. So if you follow me on It's Charlie Mager on Instagram, ITSCHARLIE M as in mother, AGER. Go to my Instagram and connect with me there too if you want a personal copy.
Plug the name of the book.
Spirit of Missouri, baby.
Spirit of Missouri.
Spirit of Missouri.
Thrilling adventure through time. Heart-pounding adventure through time.
A heart-pounding adventure through time. That's what it says.
1800s, 1900s, early 2000s. It's awesome.
You guys
It's a great read.
A little, time portal and just be there for 120 years or so. This is the book for you.
A swift 300 pages.
Swift 300 pages from a guy who reads 2 pages a day.
I could probably get through 4 if I was reading that book.
Yeah.
That's double.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this first episode of That STL Pod, Men Who Are Often Wrong. Check out my page on TikTok, Instagram at That STL Guy. If you want to see some more St. Louis content, really appreciate it, you guys. And we will see you later.